brother and sister have been sentenced after ripping off an insurance company while they were living in the villages. Sophie Nassif Bolas, 74, pleaded no contest this past week at Sumter County Court to a charge of grand theft. She had been placed on probation for 2 years and will have to perform 70 hours of community service. The brother and sister, who are from Egypt, were both living in Villa Veracruz in the village of Santiago when El Masri filed claims with the insurance company, claimed he had hired Balous to care for his ailing wife. Balous claimed that she had provided care for her sister-in-law at the rate of $25 per hour. She also claimed she was not related to her by either blood or marriage, according to an investigation of the Florida Department of Financial Services Division of Investigative and Forensic Services. Balous said she was providing care 78 hours per week. Genworth Insurance on May 12, 2021 initiated a care call with El Masri, who had Balous with him on speakerphone. El Masri, who immigrated to the United States in 1968 and spent many years in Chicago, told the insurance company representative that Balous' English was not the best. The call was conducted on a recorded line. Balous claimed that she was working about 10 hours per day helping her sister-in-law get out of bed and go to the bathroom. Balous also said she helped bathe her and get her to the dinner table. An investigator later analyzed the call and determined that Balous was being coached. When investigators went to Balous' home, he was confronted with the fact she had been making $1,800 per week providing care for her sister-in-law. El Masri had been in the headlines due to the fierce battle last year with the Community Development District 2's Board of Supervisors in a bid to save an illicit addition he had made to his home without the approval of Architectural Review Committee. He claimed he made the addition to house his ailing wife. El Masri also owned a villa at 2166 Estevez Drive that was the subject of a deed compliance case in 2020. El Masri still owns the villas, but he indicated in a letter sent to the court that he is now living in Fruitland Park. If you guys have been following the news that I put out there, or if you go to thevillagesnews.com, you've probably seen pictures of these people before. My only question is, when somebody from another country immigrates to the United States, what makes you think they're going to change? A villager was arrested in an attack on his lady friend after an outing at Lake Sumter Landing. Ricardo Dualo, 58, was arrested at about 10 p.m. Monday on a felony charge of battery after leaving a 7-inch abrasion on the forearm of his lady friend during an argument over an outing at Lake Sumter Landing, according to the arrest report. Dualo claimed he had tried to de-escalate the situation by placing the woman in a hug and trying to get her to calm down. He said she lost her balance and fell to the floor. A criminal history check revealed that Dualo had been convicted in 1989 on a charge of simple battery in New Jersey. Due to a previous battery conviction, his arrest Monday was elevated to a felony charge. He was booked at Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $500 bond. A felony charge, $500 bond. That doesn't equate to me. What $500 bond comes down to is 10% out of his pockets, $50. So for $50 on a felony charge, he gets out of jail. Wildwood commissioners tentatively approved a $258.5 million project for 2023 and 24 Monday night, which includes the cost of a new wastewater treatment plant and upgrades to the current plant. Final budget adoption is expected September 25th after another public hearing. The next fiscal year begins October 1. The property tax rate will be about $2.83 per 1,000 assessed value, a 5.7% decrease from last year's rate of $3. The tax rate will be at the rollback rate, which is the amount needed to collect the same revenue as the prior year, excluding new construction. Wildwood is expected to collect $17.8 million in property taxes next year, up $3.5 million from the year before, up $3.5 million from this year due to the growth. A convicted golf cart thief tried to flee from Sumter County Sheriff's deputies who were attempting to arrest him on a warrant. Nevada Allen Migan, 33 of Fruitland Park, was being held without bond at the Sumter County Detention Center for violating his probation on charges of grand theft. Deputies were attempting to take Migan into custody on Saturday afternoon at a residence on County Road 230C in Wildwood. A deputy spotted Migan trying to climb over a fence behind a home. Deputies surrounded him and he surrendered. Migan was convicted in the theft of a black club car golf cart stolen in November from 2021, a home on Kensington Place in the village of St. Charles. The golf cart's owner said Migan had been in his home installing a laminate floor. Migan was also charged with stealing tools from his previous employer, Wildwood Flooring. Migan had been placed on probation as a result of those cases. In 2020, Migan had been arrested after biting his girlfriend's nose. Listen, if you're going to hire somebody to work in your house, know who you're hiring. Be very careful. I've reported this before. Letter to the editor. 1, real quick. Perhaps the village's developer needs to slow growth until they figure out who will pay for the infrastructure necessary for new development. We already pay our bonds for infrastructure necessary in our village, but we cannot continue to pay for uncontrolled growth. Has our developer heard of inflation? It affects residents in the villages too. Can we stop and take a breath? This growth cannot continue and still provide all the amenities that we enjoy in the villages, which is why we bought our home here in the first place. Owning in the villages is starting to feel like owning a timeshare, and we all know the direction they're headed. That's sent in by Peg Redmond, Village of Pine Hills. That's your daily update for now. See you on the other side.